Just one of those rare days where natural gas prices and oil prices are going in opposite directions right now. Natural gas coming off what had been a run-up that had it in and out of close to 14-year highs. Now, a lot of that was born of the fact that pretty soon Russia working right now against countries that are getting gas from it, and where it's going to stop it immediately for countries like Poland and Bulgaria, what have you. So there's that expectation of cut supply and maybe more to come. But the other part here seems to be born of the idea that if they return back to anything, it could be the cleanest of all of these fuels, and that, of course, is natural gas in this varied energy world. Let's get the read right now from Karen Harbert. You remember Karen, of course, the American Gas Association president. Karen, very good to have you back with us. Natural gas is its own, phenomenon, I think, but I'm wondering, in percentage terms, whether that's the one to watch.
Well, there's a lot going on in the gas market, and it's great to be back with you, Neil. If it was really simple to explain, everybody would understand it. Right now, what we've got going on is demand is up, right? The economy is recovering. You've been covering that in your show. That means the commercial sector, the industrial sector is coming back online, so that's more natural gas. We're growing. We're adding customers. We've had unusual weather. It's been a cold spring, and now we have hot times down in Texas, and that means our heaters ran longer, and now our air conditioning, which runs on natural gas, is being turned on. And of course, supply is taking a little bit longer to return. It's not just simple to flip a switch and have more molecules on the market. So all of that is affecting. And of course, we're exporting more to make up for the shortfall from Russia gas for Europe, our allies in Europe. So all of that is coming together and causing these prices to rise.
I'm just wondering, too, with the efforts here to rein in production at home, I'm always amazed when it extends to natural gas, because it's certainly among the cleaner of the fuels out there, and gives even wind a good run for its money. So I guess I'm always perplexed by how it doesn't get more respect among environmentalists and others, because among all those other so-called classic energy alternatives, it is really the best of bets. So are you surprised by that?
Well, you're absolutely right. It is the cleanest option we have out there. And by the way, the growth in wind and solar is made possible by natural gas as a backup when they don't work. So
that's interesting. I didn't think of that. No, you're right about that. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think we should have a little bit more love from the administration because we are lowering emissions and enabling a cleaner energy future. And there's only so much we can do in this high price environment. We've got physical things we can do. Many of our utilities have already bought and locked up the supply for next winter. So they bought it at lower prices so we can hedge. We've got financial instrumentation, but we do need a tone change. But what we really need is infrastructure, because we do have the supply here, but we need to get it from where it's produced to where we need it, and that means pipelines. And this is very difficult to get permitted in this environment here.
Karen, I also wonder when hopefully and soon this war in Ukraine ends, even though that doesn't look likely anytime soon, we have a whole new world, don't we? And I'm just curious how you see the pieces coming back together for energy. If Europe now decides that, look, it's got to look at alternatives and maybe explore more domestic options depending on the country, where does this go? Well, I can't envision sort of a worldwide hug of traditional fossil fuels. So I'm wondering what you see.
Well, I do see a conversation changing right now. I mean, we only have to look at Europe to learn what we don't want to do in the United States, right? We don't want to become reliant again on foreign sources when we've got it here at home. And if we're really serious about addressing climate change, natural gas is an essential part of that, not just here at home, but all around the world. You look at what's happening in India in coal-fired power plants. You're looking at Germany. They're turning on their coal plants because they don't have access to natural gas. And so we should take a lesson from Europe, but more importantly, we are a solution. I would say in some cases we're a salvation for developing countries' growing needs for energy and for us here at home. So we're not the villain, we're actually the solution.
Let me just get one sense where you think prices are going now. And I'd like to extend this not only to natural gas, but what's been going on in the oil front. And traditional energy sources, that the worst of that sort of domestic, thumbing the industry might be over, that this war, this experience has taught us a painful lesson, that you can't do that again.
No, and we don't have to do it again, right? I mean, prices are high, but as we look out, and this is government data, they expect prices to come down after supply catches up and we put some more of natural gas in storage. So we've got some tools, but again, policy matters, tone and tenor matters. And if we are really going to be able to meet our growing energy demand here at home and around the world and do it in a clean way, natural gas is at the center of that. And people need to recognize that we're doing everything we can to lower our own emissions in the United States with natural gas. But this is a global situation. Global energy demand is going to go up. We're going to add 2 billion people to the planet. They're going to need energy. And so we really are at the center of that, that solution set.
Karen, one more dumb question, but you've been very patient over our many interviews absorbing them. But all these electric vehicles, they're powered by utilities, many of which are powered by natural gas. So in a way, the environmentalist favorite sort of, device, the EVs in general, are traditionally fueled in the end by the very kind of energy they loathe.
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, the gas is either going to come into your house in a molecule or it's going to come into your house in an electron to charge your EV. And so natural gas is not going away. And I think that needs to be recognized a little bit more going forward, that we're here to stay and we are the cleanest option out there. And our delivery infrastructure, which is already bought and paid for, is certainly a valuable asset for many decades to come.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because it's there. The infrastructure is there. Karen, thank you very much. Karen Harbert, the American Gas Association president. She can explain this in ways that even I can understand. But it is ironic, isn't it, with this whole EV push, that it really relies on utilities, that a good many of them powered by the very fuel that many are advocating we drop. Power them. It's just weird. But that's just me.